Aussie.
Alrighty, it's the new week of live streams, Tuesday night. Back on the cusp of being Fortress Melbourne again because of like 10 cases of COVID. Other parts in the world are getting 5,000 people dying a day. But hey, let's not freak out. Let's just keep it together, okay? A whole bunch of people's plans going up in smoke at the moment. So if someone's been put in a stressful situation by restrictions, certain restrictions coming back in, I feel for you. It might end up happening to young Mr. Angry's planned 21st birthday party, which he won't be happy about. It's due in a couple of weeks. And look, ideally, there's not going to be that many of these cases. It's going to be brought under control. And after a week, they'll go, hurrah! No more restrictions are required. But we never know in this big wide world. And hello, Mega Leech, by the way. I think I said hello. Tasty. One of my clarified cocktails. Let's see. Princess Bubblegum. It was made with bubblegum infused vodka. Probably still see a very faint pink on it. Readers, good evening to you. How are you this fine evening? Fine being a relative term, of course. Everyone has a different interpretation of what that means. And hello, Safa and Chris. This is the thing. You joke, Safa, should I be wearing a mask during the live stream? I was planning to have someone over for the Friday night stream, and I put it off because it would have a visitor to the house would have had to wear masks. So no more collaborating with people or having live guest streams because of the restrictions we have probably for at least a week. Hi, Luke. How's it going? It's just a weird situation we find ourselves in. Not that weird. It keeps happening. So, oh yeah, sorry, Chris. The in my fine city of Melbourne in the last couple of days, there's been about 10 cases found in 10 cases found in the community, and the people who tested positive were out and about a fair bit in time where they could have been infectious, and we don't know how many cases are going to be. So if you don't know if it's family members, it's not people you live with. If you go and visit people, including family members, you are supposed to wear a mask indoors while visiting them. Hi, Gecko. That's what's up. We've had some restrictions reimposed in Melbourne because there's a flurry of cases. Oh, look, of course, South Australia talking about shutting the border. They always say shit like that. Oh, Chris, the vaccine rollout in Australia is so shithouse. It's something like 1% of the population so far. It's fucking terrible. Federal government has completely fucked the vaccine rollout. So, outbreaks like this might maybe prompt a few more people to get vaccinated who've been dragging their feet. But the rollout and the messaging from the federal government have been a friggin' disaster. Like, this sucks so much. It's such a colossal failure, and they just keep lying about the scale of their failure. Safi, you probably won't get restrictions in the bush unless this really spreads. Safa, because I got AstraZeneca, they recommend you wait 3 months for the second dose. So I'm not going to be fully vaccinated for 3 months because I've only just had my first dose. Gecko cooking up some popcorn. Nice. Because in your area, enough people vaccinated to be close to what we consider herd immunity. I mean, we can only hope. But then there's the global spread continuing unchecked. And of course, when there's major outbreaks, the risk of mutations and variants goes up, and the risk of one of those variants being very vaccine resistant, or even worse, treatment resistant, is quite high. I mean, there was exciting news just in the last week with some Australian researchers feeling very, very confident about a treatment they've developed. It's not a vaccine, but it's a treatment for people who are sick that they are very confident would stop people from dying. That's a big plus. Kiko's 5 a.m. and considering some whiskey. Dang. That's a good question, Gecko. Where are you now? Are you still in Vegas? Or I felt like you were moving around a bit. Were there credible updates on Dan Andrews' health? I have not heard an official update about Dan Andrews for a little while. The last one was he was expecting to be back at work in June. And of course, we're only a week away from June. So, sometime soon. Charles on Facebook, how you doing? Popping along on a Tuesday to the news of community cases in Melbourne and some restrictions being reintroduced. You've been in Houston. Why did I think Vegas? I get confused where people tell me where they are. Of course, you're in Texas. We've always been talking about Texas. I get super easily confused. My bad. So, Chris, you watched the video about super harsh backlash to the Victoria's state EV tax. Government was like, no, it's not that. We're using the tax for chargers. That seems very ill-advised, imposing an extra tax on electric cars. Their reasoning was, we're obviously not going to get any fuel tax from those cars, so we want to get some tax from them. Very backward thinking, not great, very, very poorly thought out. Charles, just a little bit. I mean, we freak out. We got like 10 cases in the last couple of days, and that's 10 in total. And I think they're all one family, like an extended family so far. I think a lot of people are probably getting tested. And we hope it doesn't spread. We hope that, if a bunch of testing happens in the next couple of days, turns out there's, no significant community spread. That's what we're hoping for. Yes, I know, Chelsea, you're happy cases have dipped below 1,500 a day. It's all relative. Like the incest porn section on Pornhub, it's all relative. Why is that such a big thing? I don't know. Yes. What we've seen around the world is without quite aggressive steps we've seen around the world, including here, you go from a couple cases a day to a couple dozen cases a day to a couple hundred cases a day, and off it goes. You're off to the races. Big question, Chris. There's no locally manufactured cars. Australia doesn't rapidly invest in electronic vehicle infrastructure. Will be in a spot of bother as the major makers stop making petrol cars. Yeah, right. As what we're talking about is the exact opposite of a subsidy. Yeah, the state government saying they're going to tax electric vehicles, which is weird. So it's like Kiko, confusion over US geography is no big deal. Yeah, I guess, yeah, you can't be expecting all the... It's just I feel silly for not remembering specifically where you're from. Charles, it was our lockdowns that got it under control, is because we just did proper lockdowns, like proper no fucking around lockdowns with curfews and everything, and held them in place till the cases went away. This whole doing a half-assed lockdown and not for long enough, you get a temporary dip in numbers and then go straight back up. You've been doing a normal day schedule lately, Gecko. I could see how that would make you feel a bit better. Yeah. Yes, New Zealand did very effective lockdowns at all. Right. Okay, the Vic Gov also announced a subsidy. Well, that's stupid as hell. It's absolutely stupid as hell. So, Chris, you had no side effects at all from vaccine. Nice. I had super mild effects just for the night. I felt tired and dopey, and then I got the chills during the night, and I was like tired and weak, and then it was fine. I know some people have been knocked around like for a couple of days. They've got like flu-like symptoms for a couple of days and feeling really knocked around before they recover. So it's this amazing spread of reactions to the vaccines. Charles, your Premier is refusing to actually shut down. Section drive major case numbers, namely manufacturing, warehouse, anything. Yeah. Paid sick leaves for 3 days. That really helps when, if you're positive, you need to isolate for a minimum 14, if not 21 days. Just right-wingers and their refusal to take this shit seriously. What's it all about? What's it all about, Alfie? So, Chris, charging Australia's pretty decent populated areas. Oh, yeah, because we have the long distances between places. That could be an issue. So, Bio Zero Leaf, it's Mr. Billy Lois on your main account. Oh, that's your main account, is it? Okay, cool. Bio Zero Leaf. Cool. Ooh, Gecko, your avocado trees are doing well. Nice. That would be cool to have avocado trees. I'd like to have a citrus tree. Because I like citrus juice. Oh, yep. I had to go and look at the picture. Oh, you've got, what's that? That's like four. You've planted 6 avocado seeds and 4 have really healthy looking sprouts. Nice. Nice. Sorry, I had a funny message. Australian YouTuber Steve the Bartender offered, besides having like the biggest cocktail channel on Australian YouTube. You want me to? You want to see the picture, Safa? Okay, I have to bring it back up. Yes, Steve the Bartender said he was going to send me his gin because him and some friends actually distilled their own gin. And I mean as a commercial product, not in their backyard. And then I didn't get anything, and I felt really weird about saying anything, but I just sent him a message a bit earlier saying, I feel a bit weird about saying anything, but if you sent that to me, I never got it. And he was like, oh, don't feel weird. I meant to do it as a mistake, so I'll send it now. So yay. Charles, your vaccine rates are on the way up. Ours friggin' aren't. Charles, you think the vaccine turns you into a chemical weapons factory for it? It's just when your body's getting really busy making antibodies, you can have side effect. Nobo Zero Leaf, marijuana not illegal in Australia. It's decriminalized in some jurisdictions, so you won't be arrested for actually having weed on you. I think cops fine you, I'm not sure. But if you looked at the way the phases worked in America, for instance, we have just started research into medicinal marijuana. And you saw how it happened in America. It's like a few trials of medicinal marijuana, and then it gradually gets accepted that it's actually good medicine for some people. And then it's like, okay, it's legal if you have a prescription. And then you get just really funny, shifty people freely giving out prescriptions for marijuana until the whole thing's a joke. And then progressively, it just starts getting full on legalized. It's probably going to take a few years more in Australia. It's ridiculous that marijuana is illegal while alcohol's legal. Alcohol, far more health damage and far more social ills. It's the criminalization of marijuana is completely arbitrary and completely nonsensical. And hello, Earthcrow. So, and I also just forgot what I said I was going to do. All right. I was just going to share the picture of Gecko's avocado tree success. Where are we? Facebook. There. You see? 6 little pots and 4 of them quite decent sprouts coming up. So that's looking promising for the future. Nice. So yes, Gecko doing well with the avocado trees. I have to admit, if marijuana was legal, or if I go somewhere where marijuana is legal in the future, I'm definitely going to try edibles. So Charles, in certain parts of Canada, they're working on shroom decriminalization, various working therapies involving psilocybin. Yes, there is some research in Australia on that. But that getting legalized is a long way further down the track. And from what I've read, therapeutic use of hallucinogens doesn't scale very well. Like you need very sort of one-on-one coaching for you to get benefit from using hallucinogens, which doesn't scale very well, so it's very expensive. I know there was a study in Australia, and I read an article on it. It was fascinating. With hallucinogens, they actually used it for terminally ill patients, having guided sessions of people who are like gonna die and relatively soon. And with hallucinogens, just giving guided trips essentially. And the doctors were saying it was incredibly helpful in letting people accept and embrace, their impending demise, which sounded fascinating. And Hellion, hello, Kirsten. I remember that, Chris. The vote to decriminalize all drugs. So theoretically, you don't get done for possession, but I'm sure sale and distribution is still a crime. Wow, that's interesting. This is another clarified cocktail. It's mostly brandy. It's mostly booze, in fact. That was a what do we call it? A Sazerac, where the base was a split base between brandy and whiskey and rye whiskey, and then I'd almost finished a bottle of brandy, Australian brandy, and I'd had a replacement, so I needed the shelf space. So I just basically tipped the rest of the brandy in and then milk clarified it for fun. So this drink is mostly milk clarified brandy. Oh, it's quite good, actually. It's quite good. It's brandy flavors, but see, it's this color when it's not in ice. So it's the classic urine sample of a clarified cocktail. This is what I put it in the fridge to chill it, and it went opaque. It's like the oils, and I guess that's mostly from the milk, the whey that's in there. They discolor it, it goes cloudy. So I took it out, and it's room temperature, and it goes nice and clear again. So, buy a zero leaf. That's a $1 million idea. That's not a microwave. That's a replicator from Star Trek. So you reckon there'd be a bit of that in Star Trek, really, where they're just like, the crew have managed to get a hold of recreationals, and they just go up to replicator and dude, just give me the perfect thing. And he goes, and they go, oh my god, that is perfect. I love it. Shieldsy, hello. Water. Thank you for that, by the way. That's in the second half. I've now revised my plan. I used to drink non-alcoholic drinks in the first half and alcoholic drinks in the second half. And I decided that actually doesn't make sense. Drink alcohol in the first half and then wind down with non-alcoholic drinks in the second half. Chris, you want democratic socialism for now. Good goal for current times. New Zealand is a great example. That's a good question, Saf. It probably depends what you're measuring it by. What's the most backward state in the US? In terms of, social well-being and education levels, etc., it's going to be one of the southern states. Like if I put worst education USA state. Yeah, it's these southern states: West Virginia, Mississippi, Louisiana, Arkansas. There are other standards you can measure by as well, but in terms of, okay, which state has the worst unemployment? Because that's usually an indicator of things are kind of shit. Unemployment rates for states. Okay, Nebraska's got 2.8%, which is the best. Hawaii has a really high unemployment rate, 8.5%. California has a really high. New York has a really high unemployment. That's really interesting. Some of the, regarded as the wealthiest states have the highest unemployment rates, New York and California. Don't know if Hawaii's unemployment rate is due to economic inequity or just like, beach dude, I'm not getting a job. I was genuinely surprised by that New York and California had such high unemployment rates, like 4 times what the best states have. It's Nebraska New Hampshire, South Dakota, and Utah, and Vermont are all under 3%. That's an interesting bit of statistics. So if you're saying Nebraska has a weird phone system, I don't know. So what's the plus side for you, Shieldsy? You got a driveway, smooth front yard. The loader, clean up the front yard. Finally done. Nice. So Charles, in terms of New York and Cali, there's a huge concentration of ultra wealthy in both states. Helps skew things. Yeah, I'm sure the wealth disparity in those states is terrible. I'm not sure what you mean by the stats not per capita raters. It's saying the unemployment rate in California and New York State is over 8%. Oh, no. Jesus, Safa, no. The unemployment benefit system in the US is brutal, even compared to how shitty they're getting in Australia these days. By Zero Leaf, live in New York. It's because taxes are high. Don't pay enough to make cost of living. Traveling's hard in the snow. Don't have a car. They can fire you illegally for any reason. Yeah. I'm not a fan of a lot of the institutions in the US and a lot of the social settings, but nobody's perfect, I guess. Oh, you sounded really happy now, Shieldsy. You've got a nice, smooth driveway, wide enough for 2 cars. Nice. And Chris, yeah, still in pandemic. Oh yeah. That's yeah, a lot of people just brutally knocked about economically and job wise by pandemic. Yeah. That's right. It's called unemployment insurance, isn't it? By Zero Leaf, you pay into it, and if you qualify, you get a quarter of your paycheck. I think it varied. I'm sure I saw it was a John Oliver thing where he broke it down how unemployment support is very different state to state in the US. Mm. So that's quite nice. The first drink I had was a really sweet, and it was a bit one dimensional. This one has a lot more going on. It's a little bit sweet, but it's got these really nice dry notes from the brandy. It's actually a very nicely balanced drink. No, that's really good. Oh yes, Jesus Christ! I saw the homeless camps on the side of Venice Beach. It's not good. Also, I think you do get people who are having it a bit rough often go to the warmer areas where they're less likely to die when they're sleeping on the streets. So that is one reason you get a lot of homeless people in California. The interesting thing I discovered when I was in Darwin many years ago, the locals refer to people who sleep rough in the park and sort of semi-bush areas around town. They refer to them as long grassers, as in they live in the long grass. They sleep in the long grass, and it's a bit weird. Like it's like people go slightly feral in Darwin and surrounds. But you do definitely get you get a subset of people when you go up north, partly because it's warmer and they're not going to die if they sleep outside. And also, a lot of people aren't using their real name in Darwin. A lot of people who don't want someone to find them will go somewhere remote, like the tropical north. Get a special sort of person up there. Safa, a New Jersey State Hospital saved your life in '94. Nice. And yes, Gecko, the homeless can't travel long distances, so it's pretty complex. Player Zero, Florida just has too many dumb drunks. Florida man has become a bit of a meme, certainly. Raiders, the number is 66,000 people living on LA streets. Damn, that's a bit nightmarish. I got a friend who works for welfare groups in San Francisco. They have a significant number of homeless people in San Francisco as well. And she's always railing against the cops and the authorities persecuting the people who are sleeping rough because, these are people who have already, got fucking everything against them. It's like, they don't really need the cops fucking taking their shit and arresting them and fucking them up as well. But yeah. So Chris, homeless people, at the wedding you went to, one guy asked you if Portland was as bad as it seems, said, no, I love it here. And he's like, no, you're wrong, it's a shithole, even though you were the one that lived in. Yeah, I wouldn't talk, that's a ridiculous conversation. Hey, I've never been to Portland. You live there. What's it like? I love it. No, it's not. It's terrible. It's like, what sort of fucking idiot do you have to be to say that? But people do it all the time. The joke said, like, because I can be a bit snobby drinks-wise. But look, if someone genuinely likes something, go for it. It's your thing. If you ask me my opinion on it, I'm probably going to tell you if I think it's shit. But I'm a big believer in, let people enjoy the things they enjoy if they're not hurting anyone. But you do get people who are really fucking obnoxious in like cocktail world where they'll ask someone, oh, what's your favorite cocktail? And someone says Harvey Wallbanger. And they go, that's a shithouse drink. That's terrible. It's like, fuck off. It's their favorite. If you ask me, do I want a Harvey Wallbanger? I'm going to say, no, it's a pretty shitty drink. But if someone says that that's their favorite, I'm not going to say, no, you're wrong. That's a bad drink. That can't be your favorite. That's their taste. It's what they like. The idea of telling someone their personal taste is incorrect is stupid. Raiders, you may well be right. If it was 66K last June, it could be much higher now. Shizzy, you wouldn't sleep outside up north because there's snakes, sharks, feral animals, crocodiles. That is a real thing, particularly around Darwin. There's madness, the sort of stuff that lives in the undergrowth. But yeah. Oh, Chris, that was like the first thing they talked to you about. Just come straight in. You live in a shithole, man. I see, Gecko, you're allowed to call Houston a shithole if you live there. The idea of someone else asking you what the city you live in is like, if you say you like it and they don't even live there and go, no, it's not good, it's shit. It's like, okay. Safa, Darwin is good for a holiday. It's humid as fuck and constantly smells of rotting vegetation because it's the tropics. But if you like nature, there's a whole bunch of cool fucking shit you can do around Darwin. It's just like a day trip to Kakadu and a whole bunch of really beautiful, picturesque places. Very, very good spot for a holiday. I absolutely would not live there. Like, people I knew who lived there, they were like, oh yeah, you do things like even just like their clothes and their bedding, when it's like stacked on shelves every couple of weeks, even if you haven't worn or used something, they have to take stuff off shelves and hang it up to air it out or it'll grow mold. It's just that fucking humid there. If you don't air stuff out constantly, it will grow mold. Do you reckon Cairns is better? See, I've never been there. I've never been up tropical North Queensland. And I would love to go tropical North Queensland. Oh, that's actually good. I might have another one. It's only 8:30. But yeah, it's the one thing with the tropics, the constant smell of rot. Like, Darwin's a really clean city, but there's a constant smell of rotting vegetation because you're in the tropics and the vegetation's constant. So it's this constant compost, and it's not a pleasant smell, and it's just constant. And then when I was in the Philippines in Manila, Manila is also the tropics and has a constant rotting smell, but that's actually garbage, which is gross. It has this constant rotting garbage smell. It's actually a very slight difference between the smell of rotting clean vegetation and rotting garbage. They're both pretty bad. Garbage is worse, but only a little bit. Rotting clean vegetation's pretty gross. Bio0, you got to go to work. Have a good day at work. I assume it's your Tuesday. I hope the day goes well. So what was that, Chris? Local news in Portland keeps saying bad it is. Makes documentaries are full of fake info about how shitty it is. You pissed off the local news. Damn. So Charles, you've never smelled that back in Trinidad and Tobago, but there's always wind. Again, Trinidad, Tobago, I don't even know how big the islands are, but I think it would help if the islands weren't all that big, that you would get things. But then it's okay. Maybe Trinidad and Tobago don't smell like that. Never been to the Caribbean, so I don't know. Maybe, yeah, okay, the islands aren't very big. Maybe it's because the comparatively small islands, you're getting the fresh sea air circulating the whole time. Darwin, you are absolutely not getting that. Manila, you are absolutely not getting that. I never got to go to the beaches in the Philippines. Like, I'd love to go to those famous white sand beaches like Boracay and whatnot. They were having a bit of a problem with pollution there, and they cut tourism back a couple of years ago. But of course, now you don't get tourism because of COVID. So maybe when things open up again, they'll be looking for tourists again. Oh yes, okay. I'm gonna fashion parade the new shirt. This is another one of my retro shirts. See, it's got a cat on it. It's a celestial cat. Very angry looking black cat. I like this one. I like them all actually, but this one is less abstract than some of the other ones. So Charles, the Caribbean islands, fairly small, positioned quite south, 5 miles off the coast of Venezuela. So, oh yeah, well you're on an island, Shieldsy. So on a good day, your place would smell like salt air. Darwin absolutely does not, and Manila does not. Well, like in the Philippines, we went up to the high country, place up in the mountains called Baguio. It was above the humidity. It was really nice. Gecko, what's with the new hairstyle? I washed it, mate. It's as simple as that. Well, yeah, I've been growing it all COVID. I've had one haircut, and it was really only a trim in the last year. But the hair looks a bit different because I washed it this morning, so it's all fluffy. I didn't put any product in, so it's all fluffy. Takes a couple of days till like the hair oils go out and it'll hold in place. I didn't put any product in, so it's just, I just got fluffy hair. This is the angry likes it fluffy. Oh yes, I like that. That in terms of design, Megaleech, melancholy and the infinite catness, as opposed to the old Smashing Pumpkins album, Melancholy and the Infinite Sadness. Luke, you had a haircut. Get it cut short? I was at Shizzy, in winter, your place, it's cool, fresh air, so it can be the best of two worlds. Nice. We're getting little taste. We had a couple of like 19, 20 degree days last couple of days, and it turned this afternoon, windy and a little bit, not a lot of rain, but quite windy, and it dropped the temperature. And I think it's meant to be a bit bleak for a couple of days. And yeah, we're getting into proper winter now for Melbourne. What are they saying for the next couple of days? And bomb. So tomorrow, rain maximum 15. Thursday, rain maximum 15. Friday, rain maximum of 15. And then it's clearing up, but it gets colder. It's going to be maximum of 13. Lower 5. That's going to feel cold. Oh, damn. I wonder if the 5 is Friday night or Saturday night. They're saying Saturday has a low of 5 and a high of 13. Sunday has a low of 3 and a high of 14. Monday's a low of 3. Those are some low minimums. People are going to be complaining about those low minimums. See, it's minimum tomorrow's 11, then 9 on Thursday, then 10 on Friday, then 5, 3, 3, 5. Man, people are going to be complaining about that. Yeah, I agree, Raiders. It was a really nice Melbourne morning today. Oh, Gecko, I'm intrigued. Guy on YouTube hasn't shampooed for 5 years. There's a legit explanation. Bit of worry. Stuff you search bomb. Hopefully Aisley won't be on you. Hopefully if they know you mean the Bureau of Meteorology. Safa. Oh yeah, in the country. It gets way colder in the country than in Melbourne. Yeah, minimums of under 5 Celsius, people are going to complain about that. They're going to complain big time. Jeremy, getting a bit of a John Lennon vibe with the hair and the glasses. Nice. That's a positive one. Yes. Yeah, I'm just going to keep growing the hair, I think. I don't know. Might get it trimmed soon. Go into the city in a couple of weeks. See my man who does my hair. So, Kirsten, you don't wash your hair very much, probably once a fortnight. When my hair was short, I didn't wash it. Not with shampoo, basically. You know, washed it with water in the shower. But now it's longer. It's, you know, it gets some natural hold after a couple of days, i.e. the hair oils build up. And I kind of like that for videos. So that's why I washed it today, because it's got a couple of days. And then by the time I shoot cocktail videos on Friday, it'll be holding. Saf, are you in Wangaratta at the moment, are you? I didn't know that's where you were living. Okay. And Jeremy's in Wodonga. Yeah. I'm mixing. I did know you're up there. I was mixing Wangaratta up with somewhere else, actually. Safa, is it bad to wash hair too often? Depends who you ask. Yes, you're right, Raiders. The further out in the suburbs you get in Melbourne, the colder it gets. See, I'm actually not that far from the bay, so it tends to not get too cold here. It's something to do with the sea air, but you get further out into the suburbs, and then particularly out into the country, it'll go sub-zero. Okay, think about this. You wash natural oils out, put artificial oil back in. Look, it depends what you want from your hair. You can keep hair clean, as in not gross and diseased, without shampoo, but your hair is going to get greasy. So it depends what you want from your hair. Like I said, when my hair was short, I didn't wash it. There's no need to. It was that short. It was very easy to keep clean and not particularly oily with just water. It's longer now. It's a bit harder. Safa, is the ocean salty? Yes, it is. From the rocks. That's what I've been told. It's got to do with the minerals being eroded by the sea. Well, now we're sharing beauty tips. Chris washes his hair every 3 days with shampoo. Shieldsy's fighting with Google Assistant. Doesn't pick up the Aussie accent. Those things creep me out. It's bad enough I got this, which is a constant surveillance device. Don't actually want something recording me all the time. Oh, yeah, shit, Luke. Ballarat in winter. Cold AF. Yes. Gecko, oil is good in your case. If you wash it, becomes a floofy, uncontrollable mess. This is mine. Mine's very fluffy when I wash it. It misbehaves a lot. when I haven't washed it for a couple of days, it's easy to get it to hold a particular way. Charles is saying large bodies of water are excellent heat sinks. You live fairly close to Lake Ontario, so winters are comparatively mild compared to the rest of the coast. Then BC near the US border is milder still. There you go. Safa, no, I don't think it's salt that keeps the beach warm. I think it's like Charles is saying, large bodies of water, heat sinks to a degree. I'd want a scientician or a meteorologist to explain it to me. Gecko, anti-vaxxers crying about vaccine being used to track people. It's stupid. Anti-vaxxers are the biggest pack of shitheads. Seriously. So for how long did it take Mrs. Angry to get used to Australian climate? She still doesn't like it really hot. I don't think she misses England's climate. One of the reasons she moved here was for a better climate. The other reason is because she'd been living in London for a while, which is a big fucking city. And she goes, God, this is too much. I need to live somewhere smaller. So, Melbourne and Sydney are nice-sized cities from Mrs. Angry's point of view. Like, London with its, 20 million or something? Let me look it up. London. Oh, that's the wrong key. Population. Really, it's only 9.5 million. I thought it was bigger for some reason. So Melbourne population, 5 million. So London's only twice the size of Melbourne and Sydney. I thought it was much bigger. Weird. There you go. There you go, Safin. Moscow's 20 million. And you're like, Gecko, you want to know Houston's population? Well, you might know that. Houston population. Oh, God, Houston's only 2.3 million. Yeah, okay, your population is half our population. So Houston's not that big a city. Okay, let's get the list. Now I just want the list. Largest cities in the world by population. Okay, the list. Okay. Tokyo, largest city, 30. Wow. Tokyo is the largest population by a long way. 37.5 or 37.4 million. Delhi is second, 28.5 million. So that's like fully 9 million less. I had no idea Tokyo was that far out in front. And Shanghai is 25.5 million. Sao Paulo in Brazil is 21.5 million. Mexico City is 21.5 million. Cairo's 20 million. Mumbai's 20 million. Beijing's close enough to 20 million. Dhaka in Bangladesh is 19.5 million. Osaka, Japan's over 19 million. New York, America's biggest city, at 18.8 million. I tell you what, that thing with Tokyo genuinely surprised me. I didn't know that. Heine, how you going? Heine, you're saying they count urban surrounds differently? I don't know. Chris, you're saying London Metro Pop is 15 million. I just looked it up and it said 9. It's I think it depends how you calculate it. Because wait a second, I just going to check Houston Metro population. Does that give a different number? Okay, that's 7 million. Okay. So that's exactly what you were saying, Heine. So, okay. I was surprised to saying Houston and surrounds is 7 million. And London. Okay, yeah, London Metro's 15 million. Okay, why are they making it hard for me? Okay, that makes more sense. Yes, Chris, that makes more sense. So Chelsea, all of southeast Queensland is 3.8 million. Yeah. But for someone who's lived in, Melbourne or New York, sorry, not Melbourne, London or New York or Tokyo, Sydney and Melbourne are just big country towns. To someone who lives in Sydney and Melbourne, the rest of Australia is just country towns. So I'm going to see this list. Where's Los Angeles 12.5 million? Paris 10 million. Yeah, okay, but also, okay, these are only the city, not the metro. So Tokyo metro population, 38 million. Okay, that's weird. That's the same. That's 38. Okay, that's weird. It varies with cities. Toby, I love the shirt too. So thank you. Say thank you to Celtic King for me as well. But yeah, so yeah, that makes more sense that London Metro is like 15 million and Melbourne Metro is 5 million. So Mrs. Angry feels far more relaxed in Melbourne Metro or Sydney Metro that are both about 5 million. And London's just it's a way more intense city than Sydney or Melbourne. Although that's what, in my experience, and I mean, it's a very long time since I've been in San Francisco, like 10 years, I think. But of the American cities I've been in, San Francisco felt the most like an Australian city. Like people in Sydney say it reminds them of Sydney, and people in Melbourne say it reminds them of Melbourne. So, okay, San Fran Metro is about the same as Sydney and Melbourne, less than 5 million. But it's also, there was a vibe. There was a vibe in San Francisco that was a bit more like Sydney or Melbourne. Gecko, I've been to San Francisco a couple of times. Yeah, once with Miss Safety, once for a YouTube thing. Once, my first visit there was with my ex, way before YouTube. So, does US fuel also smell bad? I don't know. But you're saying Safa's saying Moscow air smells of crap petrol. That's an interesting one. I didn't. Oh, Chris, yeah, I like San Francisco. I walked around San Francisco. Gecko, that's a good question. I'm going to watch Shadow and Bone, or at least give it a go. I haven't watched it yet. Mrs. Angry and I are almost literally in the middle of watching a 20-year-old show, 6 Feet Under. We're getting towards the end of season 3, and it's a 5-season show. It'll probably take us another couple of weeks, maybe a month, to get through all 5 seasons. Mrs. Angry's just in the mood to watch it and nothing else on our TV viewing nights. So I'm going to be saving Shadow and Bone. So no spoilers. I'm happy to say whether you like it or not, but no spoilers. Because Mrs. Angry might like to watch that too. So I mean, I watch a bunch of stuff that Mrs. Angry doesn't watch, stuff that's usually violent. But Um, uh, as we're watching, finally finished 5 seasons. Not, I think they're going to do more seasons, but I finally finished 5 seasons of Peaky Blinders. Very, very late to the party with Peaky Blinders. I'm on season 3 of Ozark on Netflix, which I'm quite enjoying. I know they're going to do at least one more season of that. What's the stuff I'm watching on? I watched MODOK on Disney Plus. For those unfamiliar, MODOK is one of the particularly silly classic Marvel villains. It's this guy with this big square head in a floating machine with little arms and legs. And MODOK is an acronym, MODOK, stands for Mobile Organism Designed Only for Killing. Classic Stan Lee weirdness from the 60s. I think the animation is done by the same people who did Robot Chicken. And it's comedy. Patton Oswalt is voicing MODOK. They just released the first episode of that season on Disney Plus. It was mildly entertaining. I'll probably watch a bit more. Hanging out for Loki to start on Disney Plus. I like the animated series Solar Opposites. Safa, in Australia, Peaky Blinders is on Netflix. I mean, it's originally a BBC show, but the way to see it in Australia is on Netflix. I think you see it on Netflix in the US as well. There are a few good things on Prime. I did enjoy the animated series Invincible, from a comic written by the guy who created The Walking Dead, Robert Kirkman. So, yeah, and Shizzy, I've watched I think I'm behind an episode or two, but I've watched the first couple episodes of The Bad Batch, the Star Wars animation. And hang out for when another Star Wars series, because there's like over the next year or two, there's like 8 Star Wars series going to be on Disney Plus. So I'm kind of keen for the next Star Wars series. Next Marvel series is Loki, which I'm quite keen for. There's going to be an animated one later in the year, What If, that I'm quite looking forward to. There's a couple movies I keep meaning to watch as well. Gecko, you started watching Umbrella Academy with your mum. Haven't got hooked on it yet. There's like 2 seasons of Umbrella Academy. I quite enjoyed that. That's written by the guy, he's like from that emo band. After the band, he branched out into writing a comic, which is interesting. So if you say, did Rangers of the Old Republic get cancelled, or just what's her name, who was probably going to be the lead, got dumped? Because they were talking about different things. Thanks, Megaleech. Panic at the Disco. That's it. Dude from Panic at the Disco wrote Umbrella Academy. Apparently, as is common, the TV show diverged from the comics. I haven't read the comics, but I enjoyed the TV show. I actually enjoyed. There's a superhero show on Netflix. I haven't really heard people talking about it, but it was. Someone help me. What was the? It was named after a Greek god. I'm just going to type Netflix superhero. Jupiter's Legacy. I haven't really heard people talking about it, but I watched Jupiter's Legacy. It's like 8 episodes or 10 episodes or something. I quite enjoyed it. It was it was doing that thing with superheroes in the real world. What would they be like? It's not just like bland Superman stuff. They're like always analyzing their place in the world and they're flawed and all that sort of stuff. And I quite enjoyed it. That was a Mark Miller comic, I think. Like, he was originally like a Judge Dredd writer in England back in the 80s. But I quite enjoyed Jupiter's Legacy. I'd recommend that. I think it was pretty good. Because there's a real slow burn with revealing what happened and what people's motivations are. There was a decent twist at the end of the season. So it's set up for an interesting season 2, put it that way. Oh, I know the one you're talking about, Gecko, the movie Jupiter Ascending. No, completely unrelated. Completely unrelated. But I thought it was pretty good. And I am somewhat keen for, there's a new season of Rick and Morty starting in a couple of weeks. As much as a lot of Rick and Morty fans are complete assholes, I do enjoy Rick and Morty as a show. So it's like, I'm a Rick and Morty fan, but I just don't want a lot to do with other Rick and Morty fans. Weird, but just the way it is. I think, was there anything else new recently? There was The Irregulars on Netflix. It was like, again, someone's reimagining of the Sherlock Holmes story from the Baker Street Irregulars. It was kind of okay. It's very clearly young adult-ish. It had some good stuff, and I did watch the whole season with Mrs. Angry, and we kind of agreed that it's okay. It was kind of worth watching, but not in love with it. I mean, tell you what, I don't know how many people in Australia have Amazon Prime, but it's worth it for The Expanse, American Gods, Strange Omens. What else do I watch there? Oh, the animated series Invincible was on that. There are a couple of good series. Even if you just have a subscription for a couple of months to binge watch a couple series, it's cheaper than buying the DVDs, and there's some quite good stuff on there. Gecko, you've only seen a couple Rick and Morty episodes. Need to find the time to binge it. Yeah. Yes, Charles. Yeah, Rick and Morty fandom toxic? No, they just have a mild radioactive grow. Oh, Summer is hilarious. They've developed Summer better in subsequent seasons. But that's another one. Mega Leech, Amazon Prime's worth it for The Boys. A really dark and violent superhero thing. Oh yes, Gecko. I've watched about half of season 1 of Ash versus Evil Dead. It was entertaining, but didn't totally hook me. I should go back and watch some more of it, actually. Yeah, I watched about half of season 1. I like Bruce Campbell, and the vibe of the series Ash versus Evil Dead is quite good. They got the tone, I think, down quite well. Because I grew up watching the Evil Dead movies, so I quite enjoy that. So there's just so fucking much. Oh, anyone who gets Foxtel in Australia, season 3 of Mr. In Between starting tomorrow, I think, tomorrow or Friday. Fuck, I love that show. Very good. So if you've got Foxtel, or if you're sort of an illegal downloader type and you've never watched Mr. In Between, thoroughly recommend it. Really fucking good Australian show. This guy, the central character, is a hitman. It's fucking great. the lead guy, and he created the series and scripted the series. He's unbelievable. Like you see him and go, how have I not seen you in anything else? You're amazing. And this is like the only thing he's ever done. It's fucking amazing. Oh yes, Mega Leech. We enjoyed Carnival Row as well. Carnival Row is on Prime, and is a good. There's one season of that. It's quite good. Also, Prime has some super fucking weird old sci-fi. I love Prime's recommendation engine. Like when you watch something, they go, people who watch this also watch. It's worth looking at. Like it kind of starts off, you go, I watched some sci-fi. Oh, now it's recommending me some weird 90s sci-fi and some weird 80s sci-fi and some weird 70s. And then you realize they've got weird sci-fi going back to the 1930s. There is some weird fucking shit on Prime. I watched, there was this blooper show. It was classic TV bloopers, cutting room floor stuff. And it's all these people from like 60s TV show swearing like troopers when they get lines wrong. It's fucking hilarious. It was so weird just watching these people that were on squeaky clean TV shows and just swearing like troopers when they get lines wrong. It's fucking great. But yeah, Prime has got some mondo weird stuff on it. You can go down a rabbit hole on Prime really quickly. And I think that's just Jeff Bezos is rich and has bought the rights to a fuck ton of stuff. Oh yes, Mega Leech, I watched Upload as well. I quite enjoyed Upload and hope they do a second season of it. And yes, Amazon Prime is the only place in Australia to legally watch Star Trek Lower Decks, which was really fucking good animation. Although I think Mrs. Angry just doesn't like animation because she didn't like it. And most Trekkies really like Lower Decks. And Mrs. Angry is quite a Trekkie. So, all right. Get another block of ice and pour myself a non-alcoholic drink. Oh, Gecko, the old guy from Fox News. Do it live. Fuck it. Bill O'Reilly. Ah, yes. Mega Leech, Star Trek Picard, only on Prime. If you want to catch up on all the Star Trek, you have to have all these different things because Discovery is on Netflix. I was talking about series, Gecko, but I don't know that she'd be into Rango, the movie. She likes Pixar stuff. We watched some Pixar stuff together. Like Soul was on Disney Plus. That's good. Outward Bound, the fantasy one, that was okay, but it was only okay. Soul was good. I think there's a new Pixar animation coming out on Disney Plus soon. I haven't. Mega Leech, did you watch The Walking Dead World Beyond? Because I haven't watched that. I know that's on Prime, a Walking Dead spin-off. Speaking of Walking Dead spin-offs, the most recent season of Fear the Walking Dead, I thought was really good. Not least because the big bad, the nemesis in Walking Dead, Fear the Walking Dead, she wasn't that bad. Like she wasn't like Negan or the Governor or the Whisperers. She wasn't apocalyptically bad. She was just kind of fucked, and the protagonists didn't like her. And I actually liked that their antagonist wasn't a big monolithic evil big bad. And I thought the most recent season of Fear the Walking Dead was really quite good. Charles, which series is bringing back Q? They had some Q jokes in Lower Decks, which were very funny. I am looking forward to a new season of Picard. I thought they did a good job with Picard. Although I got a bit of giggle They giggled whenever Picard was running. It was clearly his stunt double. I thought, yes, Patrick, we all get there one day. We're even forget falling downstairs or doing actual stunt work. Just running is a bit of a hassle. Like if I was in something and they wanted me to run, I'd go, sure, I can run. And then I'd do my version of running and they would just go, oh fuck. Can we use the stunt double? He looks ridiculous. He looks fucking ridiculous when he runs. So I have no doubt if I was casting something and they wanted me to run, once they saw me run, they'd just go, we'll do the stunt. We'll get a stunt double to run for you. It's fine. I can run. I think I just look very stupid when I run. That's because my knees are fucked. But yeah, I did get a bit of a giggle when in Picard, anytime he had to run, it was very clearly his stunt double that was doing the running. If you think I should get Nicolas Cage to be my running stunt double, we're about the same age. That'd work. If his knees are in better condition than mine, that could work. Charles, I agree. Lower Decks was goddamn hilarious. And I also thought it was really true to Star Trek as well, while being funny. Was really true to Star Trek. Like I said, Mrs. Angry is a real Trekkie, didn't get into it, but no, I think she's the anomaly. I think most Trekkies get into it. But God, it took so long, and I mean 6 months or more to be able to legally watch Lower Decks in Australia. And it's such fucking bullshit when they make it hard for you to watch something legally. It's absolutely ridiculous. But it got here eventually, and I watched it and I enjoyed it. Yeah, I think Mrs. Angry is just not that into animated shows, whereas I am. There's the movie on Netflix that everyone is giving rave reviews to, The Millers versus the Machines, I think it's called. Looks good, and so many people I know on internets are saying this show's fucking awesome. I love it. And yes, Gecko, if you want to do the non-legal route in Australia, our internet sucks. Charles, you like the Riker episode on Below Decks? It was pretty funny. The Riker stuff was pretty funny on Below Decks. They clearly had a lot of fun. And Abigail keeps telling me the number of Easter eggs for hardcore Trekkies in Below Decks is just mind-blowing. It's like virtually every shot has something in it that's an Easter egg for real hardcore Trekkies. So, yeah. I didn't know that, Charles. Millers versus the Machines is the current animated gay daddy crush. Nice. Nice. Well, I was talking about Soul, the Pixar movie on Disney Plus, the thick barber. He generated a lot of online comment. Yeah. Big Daddy Barber was had some very sweaty fans on the internet, from what I saw. Yeah, boy. So, oh yeah, no spoilers for Soul. That's okay. Just that there's a barber in it who's, as the saying goes, thick. Yeah, there you go. Charles agrees. The barber in Soul. Nice cool glass of sorrel. I saw people, friends of mine, salivating quite a bit over the thick barber in Seoul. He's a peripheral character, but people noticed him, is all I'm saying. People noticed him. So, speaking of Netflix movies, I did watch Army of the Dead, which was kind of okay. I didn't hate it, but there was some stuff in it that, to me, Zack Snyder has contempt for audiences sometimes. Gecko, you're going to go to bed. Get some rest, man. Catch you later. That's it, Charles. Let me line up and feed and maybe them digits. Nice. There's a YouTube channel. Actually, I forget what the channel's called. It's called Screen something, but one of the regular segments is this guy who does these videos that are called pitch meetings, where it's just like a joke version of how was this movie or TV show pitched. And the guy's name's Ryan George, but he does these for a bigger channel. I think it's Screen Junkies. Yes. No, Screen Rant. I was looking it up. Screen Rant. And he does what's called pitch meetings, where he plays both characters. The scriptwriter who's pitching to it's like the scriptwriter is pitching to a producer, and he basically picks apart the inconsistencies and shortcomings in the scripts of these movies. What was I saying spoilers for, Shieldsy? Are you upset that I said there was a sexy barber in Seoul? Yeah, the channel's called Screen Rant, and these videos are called pitch meetings. And the one for Army of the Dead did pretty much pick out the stuff that when I was watching it, I was like, yeah, Zack Snyder kind of has contempt for audiences. He's always doing this set up and no payoff thing, which is like, okay. So something that I'm sort of not really here for, but you're saying it for fun. Sorry, Shieldsy. Yeah, but if you want a bit of aimless fun, you could definitely do worse than Army of the Dead. I didn't hate it. Put it that way. I didn't hate it. But apparently, Zack Snyder, he was seeding all sorts of story ideas for sequel and an expanded zombie universe. He wants to do much more with it. And it's like, well, good for you. Good for you, buddy. Good for you. You do that. Oh, Charles, no doubt, best part of Army of the Dead was Tig Notaro. Not just because Tig Notaro generally is awesome, but because, as it turns out, when they shot the movie, one guy in it, turns out, had been sexually assaulting women, and they were like, well, fuck that guy. We're not giving him screen time. So they reshot his role with Tig Notaro in his role and digitally inserted her into the movie. And Tig Notaro is just fucking great. She's fucking awesome. She's great in everything she does, whether she's doing comedy, where she was in Star Trek Discovery, she was great. And she's really good in Army of the Dead. But yeah, it was a nice touch. They just decided, oh no, we found out too late. This guy's a piece of shit and we've paid him and all that. But fuck it, we're not promoting his career. We're going to digitally replace him in this movie. Oh yeah, Charles obviously should be coming back to Discovery. There are so many supporting characters in Discovery, but she's a good one. She's very good in Discovery. She does this deadpan thing that just cracks me up. She did this series of short videos. I'm not sure exactly what it's for, but I think you can find them on YouTube. It's basically Tig Notaro pays no attention to popular culture, so she doesn't know who famous people are. So there's this interview show she does. There's basically, I don't know who you are. And people come on who are quite famous, and she doesn't know who they are. And she has to ask them questions and try and work out why they're famous. And it's really funny because she genuinely doesn't know who the people are because she just doesn't pay attention to pop culture. So it's hilarious to see her interviewing people trying to work out why they're famous. It's really funny. I like that, Charles. We need more Tig Notaro, same way we need more Hannah Gadsby. As I understand it, Hannah Gadsby has a new show she's been doing live, and because Netflix loves her, it will doubtless be a Netflix special sometime this year, which I'm looking forward to. I like Hannah Gadsby's work. The one that she's super famous for, I tend to be in the camp where I say it's an incredible piece of theatre that also has some very good jokes in it, rather than it being a good comedy special. But I think it's an incredible piece of theatre that has good jokes in it. And I thought the follow-up was pretty good too. And she's got a new show. I know she's doing this new show live. I saw it advertised. So seeing Netflix loved her, we can probably look forward to seeing that on Netflix probably later this year. Maybe next year. I don't know. It's a big thing with comedians just doing one new show a year. And apparently Australian comedians even do new shows more regularly than American comedians who'll do the same material for a couple of years. I mean, I'd love to see Bo Burnham do another special. I mean, he's doing a bunch of stuff with movies and whatnot. Like the movie he wrote and directed, 8th Grade, was fucking phenomenal. How he made something seem real to 8th graders is amazing. But I'd love to see a new Bo Burnham comedy special. I don't know if he even still does that sort of stuff because he's getting so much into movies lately. Because I think his one, Make Happy, is the absolute pinnacle. It's the most amazing comedy special I've ever seen, because it's, to me, it's like technically perfect. Like, and it relies heavily on technology, the show, and in terms of storytelling, it's absolutely compelling, but it's also funny as fuck. And to me, that's where I think the divergence is between Hannah Gadsby and Bo Burnham. I think Hannah Gadsby's storytelling is absolutely compelling, but I think that show she's famous for is more like really compelling theatre that has some very funny jokes in it. Whereas Bo Burnham is just a funny as fuck comedy special that's also just incredible storytelling. Make Happy is the Bo Burnham one I'm talking about. All these specials are good, but the most recent one's it's about 3 years old now. Make Happy is... I almost don't want to give it away, even though it's years old. So it's like you should have seen it. You should be worried about spoilers. But it's just he sets stuff up in a particular way. And I guess without being very spoilery, he's very explicit about comedians lie to you. When comedians are on stage and they tell you they're telling you a real story, they're not. They're lying. When I tell you I'm telling you a story, it didn't happen. It's a lie. But then towards the end of the show, he tells you something incredibly real, but you're like, but you said it's always a lie. But this is obviously real. Unless it isn't, is it? It's obviously, and that is really amazing. Oh yeah, Charles, that's a perfect summary. Nanette, Hannah Gadsby show, tour de force, trauma processing and release, and there is very funny stuff in Nanette. I think it's more drama theater with very funny jokes as opposed to a comedy show. But it's a theater show that has some really good jokes in it. Shieldsy, yeah, maybe people are doing stuff because it says there's still people watching me. But yeah, chat's a bit quiet. That's okay. Okay, you won't be able to hear it, but the stove's making its stupid noise, which is really distracting to me. So I'm just going to bang the button so it stops. Ooh. And it's started raining here again as well. It's not heavy. Again, you probably won't hear it, but I can hear it. Oh, I think I've seen some Verdas, Charles. Yeah. And I also agree with you. John Mulaney's comedy is very good as well. There's like 3 John Mulaney specials on Netflix. John Mulaney, his comedy is very good. I do generally like watching the comedy specials on any of the streaming services. They're not all great, and in fact, some of them are very ordinary. But I just like seeing them because you get some very interesting stuff. Some of it very funny, and so. Oh yeah, sorry, Shieldsy. I've been talking. Charles is on Facebook, and I've been having a long conversation with Charles. Charles joins us on YouTube sometimes. So yeah. So the chat is much quieter on the YouTube side compared to because I see everything here. So for you getting heavy rain, it's kind of light rain. We're meant to get like light rain showers for the next couple of days. Bleak couple of days and some very cold mornings. That's okay. That's why I just get up in the mornings. It's like, put on my fuzzy pajama pants and my big fluffy dressing gown, have my online meetings with my camera switched off for work. There you go. Shieldsy, you got a friend on the YouTube chat now. Safa came back to you. People are still there because there's still quite a few people watching, but that's okay. If everyone's just listening, that's fine. Yeah, I say Kirsten's here, just packing the dishwasher. That's fine. I ordered my Archie Rose cocktails, Kirsten. I couldn't resist. They just sound so good. So yes, if you haven't already passed on, I'm going to say kudos to your copywriter. Or you might have missed when I said it earlier, Kirsten, because a couple of weeks ago, Steve the bartender said he was going to send me his latest gin. Him and his mates have done it at the distillery, and it never arrived. And I sort of felt like I got to feel a bit needy for it. But I actually sent him a message a bit earlier today saying, I feel really weird saying this, but if you ever sent that gin, I never got it. And he went, whoops, don't feel bad. Don't feel weird saying it. I'm going to send it now. He'd missed my reply where I gave him my address. So sometime it's already... If he sent it tomorrow, it might arrive by Friday. Probably not till next week. So yeah, I'm due to get a couple things. So I'm due to get the Steve the bartender gin, and because I ordered the Archie Rose bottled cocktails, they should show up. Archie Rose is usually really quick with deliveries. That might arrive this week, actually. So I might have Friday night might be a really big party night. I might have a whole bunch of booze to taste test. Okay, recommendation from Charles. Verdas's show Losing It. It's one of his best show hands down. Nice. Yeah. Yeah, I like passing the time generally watching the comedy specials on the various streaming services. There's a whole bunch of them on. We were talking about Prime earlier, and there's a bunch on Prime of varying quality. But there's these they're sisters apparently, British, Flo and Joan, that Mrs. Angry and I saw at the comedy festival a couple of years ago. 2 years ago to be precise, because there wasn't a comedy festival last year. The year before we saw them, and the special that's on Prime is the same show that we saw live, and I watched it on Prime, and they're musical comedy and they're very talented musically. They're so funny. I got a lot of laughs, and I'd already seen the show. Watching it back on Prime, I got a lot of laughs. So that's worth it. Yes, Kirsten, I agree. Daniel Sloss is broadly very good. A British comedian. There's a few of his specials on Netflix, I think. But yeah, I think generally, checking out the comedy specials on the streaming services, you can find some very good stuff. Some of it's very ordinary, and of course, it's all, comedy is subjective. What you find funny, I might not find as funny, and vice versa. That's why exploring the comedy specials can be very good, because it's all sorts of different stuff. Oh, Kirsten, you're good. You told your copywriter how much I like their copy. She said it's very flattering. Good, because it was good copy, because it made me want all the cocktails. I got 2 of them, so. And they'll probably take, God, it's like 10 drinks in one of those bottles. So, Charles, I didn't actually watch that Rebel Wilson show, Last One Laughing, battle comedy thing on Prime. I didn't watch it. Did you watch it? What did you think of it? The premise of this show is a bunch of comedians are like in a Big Brother type house, and they're trying to make each other laugh. And it's like, if you laugh, you get kicked off the show. That's why it's called Last One Laughing. The last one laughing wins. So I haven't watched it. Interested as to what you think. I kind of mean to watch it at some time, because as a premise, it's not terrible. But I have not watched it. What else did I watch? Sorry, we were going through shows before. There's another sci-fi show on Prime called Tales from the Loop, which was weird and strange and moody, but enjoyed it. Charles, okay, so you did watch it? You're not sure how you feel? You got fucking wild? You saw far too much of one man's ass, cock, and balls? What was his name? Oh my God. That sounds pretty full on. I've got another one I keep meaning to watch, and it's on Prime in Australia, is Man in the High Castle, which is the alternate history sci-fi where the Nazis won World War II. Oh God, Sam Simmons. Jesus, you can't fucking, you cannot trust that guy. Sam Simmons is just this mad, absurdist comedian. I say this in, I guess, a positive way. You can't trust Sam Simmons. Sam Simmons will just do the weirdest fucking shit. Yeah. Also, he made the cock jacket not funny. Okay. Okay. Teacher's Pet Gaming on Twitch. I am multi-streaming. I'm streaming to Twitch, Facebook, and YouTube. So I'm having conversations with people on all 3 platforms. Kirsten, you're saying copywriter doesn't usually get direct feedback, so it's nice. I'm really glad to give it to her, and it was genuine. I was looking at it going like, oh, I went all for it. Okay, Kirsten works for the Archie Rose Distillery. They recently released these 4 pre-made bottled cocktails. It's like 700 mils, so it's like 7 cocktails, 7 generous-sized cocktail servings in one bottle. And they made the copy made all 4 of them sound really good. Like I'm fine. And I've ordered 2 of them, and I mean, it's like, but there's like 10 cocktails. That's going to take me ages to drink. But if they're really good, I'm probably going to get the other. But they'll probably, I don't know if they'll sell out or what. But yeah. But I might even have them by the end of the week, so I might be able to try them out on Friday night party night. Shieldy, you're big up in the YouTube chat. That's what most people tend to be on YouTube. But it varies. Sometimes I'll get a couple of people on Twitch. Sometimes I'll get a couple of people on Facebook. So it varies. And because I do it through StreamYard, and there it's this effortless one-click thing. It's like, yeah, okay, I'm doing it to multi-platform. Yay. And apparently you can do that with stuff like Stream OBS and whatnot, which Abigail recommends I use. And I tried when I started streaming again. I looked at Stream OBS and it was like, this is so fucking confusing. And then StreamYard appeared and it was like, oh my God, it's a web-based thing and it's just one click. Oh, that's easy. I'm doing that. Okay, Kirsten, I should be able to get them all year till October, November. Cool. So yeah, if I enjoy the 2 I'm getting, then I'll get the other ones later. Teachers Pet Gaming. There's a free version of StreamYard, but you can only stream to one platform with that. I found it to be worth paying for a subscription to StreamYard because being able to multi-stream is real easy. So I like it. Oh, okay, Kirsten. So if they say they can make more, cool. So I'm feeling pretty confident about liking the ones I just thought that I almost ordered all 4 of them. Okay, fucking get yourself together, son. Just order 2 of them. Order 2 of the pre-bottled cocktails. Drink them, and if you like them, get the other 2. So running out. Oh, Kirsten, I'm sure you were saying something about there being whole slabs of lark whiskies at Costco because people are kind of boycotting the stuff that came from Nant that is now being sold under the lark label. I looked at Costco online and yeah, they got 6 or 7 different lark whiskies on sale through Costco online, which is interesting. I got 1. That's enough for me. Oh, sorry. Teachers Pet Gaming, you're referring to Stream Labs. You have to have Prime. I actually have Prime, but I'm settled into StreamYard, which is an independent free streaming platform. Yeah. So, Shieldsy, was it your sister who told me about StreamYard? Yeah, because I don't even remember because it was over a year ago. And my brain no work good. So yeah. So it's funny, Kirsten, when you told me about Costco having slabs of lark whiskies that were essentially rebranded from the Nant thing, which was a massive scam that we've talked about before. But yeah, so I got an email from this a week or 2 ago. I got an email from Costco about, oh, it's on special, and they had a lark thing. So how much lark are they selling? And I went on the site, and they've got like at least 6 or 7 different lark whiskies for sale, which was interesting. Okay, Teacher Spec Game, yeah. StreamYard is an independent restreaming platform. The free version, you can stream to one destination, like YouTube or Facebook or Twitch or even LinkedIn. The version I have, which is a paid version, it has a few features, but one of the features is being able to stream to 3 platforms at once. Then there's a pro version where I think you can fucking stream to 10 places at once. I don't know. But also, although I'm not doing Angry Bunch tonight, it lets me add people to the stream. I can have up to 10 people on the stream at the same time. Friday nights is usually Angry Bunch night. It's again, and because it's web based, all you need is a link. You don't need any software on your computer. It's all web based. I think it's fucking great, and they have a bunch of fun features as well, which I hardly ever use. I can play little bits of video like this one.
You are totally fucked up!
That's an animation of me that Tony Solano did a few years ago. I can do stuff like that. Oh, that's interesting, Teacher's Pet. If you're a Twitch affiliate, you can't multi-stream. It's against terms of service. See, I'm never going to be a Twitch affiliate. I don't take it very seriously. So I'm never going to have the sort of number of followers and stuff that would make me a Twitch affiliate. But yeah. Oh, yeah. Charles, that is a perfect summary. The Angry Bunch is a meeting of the most colorful members of the insane asylum. Charles is allowed to say that because he joins the Angry Bunch. So, Kirsten, you're not anti-selling booze at Costco. Just interesting. It's not going to Dan's or other. Yeah, and it is. That is really, really interesting. And but yeah, Costco has a bunch of Lark whiskies for sale. Oh, actually, Charles, that's an excellent idea that we play What the Dub or Jackbox or something on Angry Bunch would be fun. People have been talking about we should do Among Us one night, which I'm on board for, that we should do Among Us one night. Fun group game that we could play on a live stream. I'm absolutely on board with that. I feel like I've just been drinking non-alcoholic drink for the last half hour, and the alcoholic drinks from the first hour are like catching up with Charles. Big caps, fuck yes. Okay, Charles is on for Among Us. Yeah, we'll have to do it one night. We'll have to do it. I don't even have Among Us, but it's like $20 or something. I have to get Among Us on this laptop. I've literally never played Among Us. I'm aware of what it is and how it works, and because people are always talking about it, so I read about it. But I've never actually played Among Us. So, yeah, Shields, you my better angel. But this is what I learned. I used to always drink non-alcoholic drink for if because some live streams I don't drink alcohol at all. But I thought if I'm going to have a drink, I used to drink non-alcoholic drinks for the first hour, and then I'd drink alcohol in the second half. And I thought about it a little while ago. That doesn't make sense. I should drink alcohol in the first hour to get me sort of lubricated and extra chatty, because I get very talky when I'm had a few drinks, and then drink non-alcoholic drinks in the second half. So I'm like winding down as I get to bedtime. Makes far more sense. But yeah. Okay, so Teacher Bed, Twitch has this 24 hours exclusivity thing. Can't repost any streams for 24 hours. Okay. Ugh. Oh, there you go, Charles. You got it on a Steam sale for $5. You can get Among Us free on iOS and Android. Okay, well, let me really quickly. Oh my god, I've got the hiccups now. Steam. Welcome to Steam. Store. Okay, how much is? Okay, $7.50 at the moment, Australian dollars. Yeah, so it'd be $5 US. $7.50 Australian. Dirt cheap. Ooh, I just thought of something. Every now and then I've thought of actually doing a gaming stream on here. Mad Max is $30. I've heard Mad Max is an underrated and quite good open world game. Released in 2015, so it's coming up on 6 years old. And of course, the one I really love, Red Dead. Red Dead Redemption 2 is still $60 on Steam. It's because it's such a good game. Came out years ago. How many years ago did it came out? Oh, actually only 2 years. Not even 2 years ago. I thought it was older than that. Saying it came out in December 2019. I thought it was older than that. I played Red Dead 2 through on the PlayStation. Fucking great game. I love it. Shields' Twitch is overrated. Yeah, that's why there was a little period where I thought, ooh, maybe I'll try and become a Twitch affiliate. And then they do this whole thing of gamifying streaming. And they're basically trying to compel you to stream for like over 100 hours a month, which is just fucked up, quite honestly. Charles, you got non-gamer, non-techie teacher playing Among Us. Your first semester welding programming fucking ruined it. Oh no. Oh, okay, you're saying Red Dead. If you've got Xbox Game Pass, it's just free. Yeah, I don't have an Xbox. I have a PlayStation 2. So I've got it on not what did I just say PlayStation 2? I meant PlayStation 4. I do have PlayStation 2. But I got PlayStation 4. And that's what I played Red Dead 2 on. And I love that game. It's so fucking good. Yeah, I'm very tempted to play it through again. I've got a bunch of games I haven't played. It started playing Yakuza Like a Dragon. But I haven't finished it. I haven't been playing much lately. What was that, Charles? Discussing their own roughshod over your faces. Destroyed you. Oh, damn. I love that. Teachers, but if I have Red Dead 2 on PS2, you have it on Game Boy. I love it. I love it. Yeah, that was a slip. That was a slip of the tongue, as they say. Yes, PlayStation 4. I got Mrs. Angry just started that exercise thing on the Twitch. Yeah, that circle thing. I've forgotten what it's fucking called. I got it for her for. She said she wanted it, so I got it for her for her birthday. God, speaking of Twitch, I've been thinking of replaying Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. I fucking love that game too. I love the open world games. The open world games I've played in the last couple of years that I've enjoyed. Grand Theft Auto, besides the ones I've already mentioned, Grand Theft Auto 5, Mafia 3, Yakuza 0. Not that the Yakuza games are very open world. They're actually really quite constrained. You can only explore a very small area. But it's kind of that. Yeah, I'm a fan of the open world games. But I haven't been gaming much lately. I started replaying Far Cry 5 on my PC. And it's kind of just fun killing all these religious cultists. And having all your redneck pals helping you is kind of fun as well. And just the really redneck music every time you liberate an area is great. There's another game is on the platforms. It's on PlayStation 4 and 5. Sword of something or other that sounds really good, where you're a samurai. Oh, Charles, you want a modern Sleeping Dogs? I've never played Sleeping Dogs. I think my lad did, but Nothing like choke slamming a fool into a running table slaw. Damn, that actually sounds brutal. What are you doing, Safa? Are you plugging your composite cable into your 4K TV? A bit blurry? 3.5 jack? Composite female? Oh, geez, that says well. I don't even understand what you're saying. I know some of those words. Time splitters. Two is a bit black bars. Edge is too big. Well, remember when you didn't need internet connection to play games? Or they do the downloads and whatnot. I don't play online games. If they don't have a solo play mode, I don't get them. Thank you, Safa. Ghost of Tsushima. Yes, that's the one. I don't play online games. I found online gaming, your enjoyment is limited to the most toxic person who's playing. And it's like, nah, fuck it. Give me story version. Give me story version, single player campaign, or I'm not buying your game. I tell you what, one I'm waiting for though is remaster of Diablo 2. It's supposed to be coming out this year. I saw some teaser. I loved Diablo 2 on the PC. And I saw a teaser thing for what this remastered version of it looks like. And I'm keen. I am very keen. I'd love to replay Diablo 2 with modern graphics. So if you agree, online sucks. Online sucks. Definitely does. You are right that the new consoles need an online mode. Check in with the server. Because it's weird. Sometimes you'll go to play a game and it goes, oh, update needs to download. Oh, okay. It's the kind of whenever you buy a game and you go to install it for the first time, it's like, I better remember to do this several hours before I want to actually play the game, because it'll probably say like, oh, there's X gigabytes of update to download. So, yeah. Yep, actually, Shieldsy, I agree with you. Online's only fun with friends in a private session. Strangers fucking suck. I just see it way too often with the online games. You know, that the enjoyment of the game is dictated by the most toxic person playing. So, Charles, when Diablo 2 comes out, you'll be existing solely on the internet, as nothing on the internet will matter as much as the nostalgia. I am so fucking down for the remaster of Diablo 2. I loved that game so much. I played it through so many times, and I had the expansion packs, because by the time you got to expansion packs, you could play it as like 8 different character classes. And although the story stuff stayed the same, the maps dynamically generated. So the overall gameplay, every time you played it, even if you played as the same character class, it was totally different. But if you changed character class, so your character class had all these different strengths and whatnot, it was totally different each time, even though the central story stuff was always the same. The experience of playing it was different. So I'm really looking forward to that. So that's like you with the Mass Effect remaster. See, I've never played Mass Effect, so I heard good things about it. Never actually played it. So, but that's the thing about gaming: something for everyone. So, yes, whatever your gameplay style is, there's something for you. I mean, I just loaned a bunch of PS4 games to Abigail for the son to play. It's like, okay, here's a whole bunch that have been played and no one wants to replay it in the immediate future, so knock yourself out. Kept things like GTA 5, etc. Oh, she goes, you played to do GTA 5 online. People on damn jet planes and helicopters keep killing you. Yeah, that's one that from what I've seen, is super toxic, the online version. But they had one that was like a space one where you had to invade a space station and whatnot that had a like planet attacking laser platform. And so what would happen is people who were playing, online in a group and whatnot, they'd get hit from space by this fucking laser. And it's just like, oh, that sounds so shitty. that just sounds like it sucks. Safa, a GTA 5 remastered for PS5 graphics would be pretty. I've seen some videos on YouTube at what the PS5 graphics for GTA 5 look like. It's pretty full on. So seriously, sometimes you go online, hide in the hills, sniping them when they drive by. Nice. I found GTA 5 so much fun to play. And then I just read all the stuff about the online thing and I was like, no, fuck that. Fuck that. That just sounds fucking terrible. Just all these toxic griefers everywhere. It's like, no, thank you. Where there's so much to explore in GTA 5 and you could just cause such mayhem. It was so much fun. Again, just even like, was the last GTA game I played was like San Andreas. Like I never played GTA 4. I played it at a friend's place. I never owned GTA 4. But I had San Andreas on the PlayStation 2. And I love that. But I have to admit, the thing I love, just getting in a car and just driving as fast as you can and as dangerously as you can until you completely fucking trash the car. I've always found that to be fun. Just like, what's the longest I can go driving stupidly fast before I actually total this car? And then even just like, getting the cops chasing you and going, I wonder if I can outrun the cops, and just driving like an absolute madman and trying to lose the cops. But yeah, I found GTA 5 a lot of fun to play. Safi, your friend had the uncensored version of the UK of San Andreas. With what was the mod called? Hot Coffee, where all the sex stuff that happened behind doors would actually happen on screen. But yeah, I never finished San Andreas because you ended up with this flying mission, and I am so bad at flying in those 3D games. Always bad. Charles, stealing shit from the military base, getting the instant 5-star and bombarded the fuck with their shit. Oh yeah. When you accidentally did something that got you a 5-star alert in GTA 5. I always remember when it was San Andreas and you went into one of the areas too early, because there's a thing where you could get in a boat and go to an area you weren't meant to be at yet. And it would be instant 5-star where you're getting a full-scale military assault on you. Not always be running around going, it's because I'm black, isn't it? You're just doing this because I'm black. Good times. Yeah, this is making me want to play GTA 5 again. Oh my God. A GTA 3 San Andreas remaster and expanded. Actually, San Andreas expanded. Oh my God, that would be so fucking good. I would play the shit out of that. Savvy Game Boy Advance still plays fine. Excellent stuff. I've got Nintendo 64 still plays well. I can still play Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask and Perfect Dark. Well, actually, okay. To be fair, I haven't plugged the Nintendo 64 in for a little while. Last time we plugged it in, it worked. So I'm assuming it still works. Charles is accidentally, yeah, that's the defense. I accidentally stole this. I was sleep robbing. But yeah, I just enjoy the open world thing. So yeah, I'm looking forward to the next Zelda open world game on the Switch. such. Oh, God, at some point I'll probably replay Breath of the Wild because Breath of the Wild. I think we've got Hyrule Champions, and I've never played it. I'm not gaming that much recently, quite honestly. It takes up too. I love gaming. It just takes up too much. I did hear that, Safa. There was going to be an HD Skyward Sword. I was never in. I don't hate any of the Zelda games, but I never really got into Skyward Sword. So yeah. Oh God, Shieldsy, I heard about that. The role playing on GTA 5. I've seen some videos on that. Read some stuff on role playing in GTA 5, and it's well. So, how long does it take to finish Breath of the Wild? Well, there's a bunch of different ways you can play it. You can play it forever and never finish it, but it's interesting because you've got like the 5 temples that you go to. That if you beat the temples, you power up, and then you go face Ganondorf. But you can beat Ganondorf without ever doing any of those 5 temples. I've seen people do it. And in fact, I only did 4 of the 5 temples because one of them that had all these puzzles was really shitting me. So I never finished it. And so I went and beat Ganondorf with only 4 of the 5 or 3 of the 4 temples. I forget which way it goes. But story, you could just keep playing it forever without actually finishing the story mode. You can just keep exploring and keep doing shit. So that answer of how long does it take to finish Breath of the Wild, it's not really possible to answer that because you can just keep playing. You can just keep exploring. There is so much in that game. There are yes, the Air Temple. Safa is the Air Temple in Breath of the Wild. Fucking shit me to tears. And I never finished it because it's just all these puzzles and shit. And I was just like, oh God, this is just fucking annoying. I don't care. But I loved the open world stuff in Breath of the Wild. Good call, Safa. It is actually bedtime. I got to go switch on my. I got to show you at one point my. I got my CPAP machine, which I affectionately call Darth, because if I try and talk or add this thing in my ears, I was like, so, and it's black. The little box is black as well. So, yeah. So I'm sleeping with a CPAP machine at the moment. I'll talk about that another night. Didn't even talk about that tonight. I'm going to go to bed. So take care, one and all. I hope to see you again this week. I won't be on tomorrow night, but I should be on Thursday night. Lead into Friday, party time. So take care, one and all. I'll see you another time, but bye for now.